Ethos, logos, and pathos in 5 minutes. In approximately 300 BCE, Aristotle, who was a famous Greek philosopher, wrote a book entitled The Art of Rhetoric. In his book, Aristotle identified the 3 methods of persuasion. He called them ethos, pathos, and logos. They make up what's called Aristotle's rhetorical triangle. Logos, meaning logic, pathos, meaning empathy or emotion, and ethos, meaning credibility. These all comprise the 3 basic parts of an argument in varying degrees. Logos refers to any attempt to appeal to the intellect. Logos appeals to the left side of the audience's brain. The audience relies on reasoning and facts to make its decision. Examples of this include theories or scientific facts, indicated means or reasonings. That means that we can reason, this happens because of this, or this happens, therefore that. Literal or historical analogies, including comparisons to the past, definitions, factual data and statistics, quotations, citations from experts and authorities, informed opinions, examples, real-life examples because they can be observed, or also personal short stories because they're observable and provable. This is an example of a logical appeal. It's a logical appeal, or it's logos, because it's arguing that CO2 emissions have gone up over the last 250 years, shown here by the undisputable data. Ethos is referring to credibility. Aristotle contends that a speaker must establish moral credibility in the minds of the audience at the beginning of his or her speech. In order to do so, the speaker must show that he or she has expertise in the subject matter of the speech. For example, when a trusted doctor gives you advice, you may not understand all the medical reasoning behind the advice, but you nonetheless follow the directions because you believe that the doctor knows what she or he is talking about. We can also see this in examples of people that are often celebrities. For example, professional football players have established their credibility in sports by playing in the NFL. If LT tells us that a Vizio is the best plasma television for watching the game, we believe that he knows what he is talking about. When you often watch commercials or advertisements, watch for celebrities. They're often used to create an ethical appeal. Examples of this can include the author's profession or background, the author's publication, appearing sincere or fair-minded or knowledgeable, conceding to the opposition sometimes where it's even appropriate, being morally or ethically likable based on his or her background, using appropriate language for the audience and the subject, having appropriate vocabulary, correct grammar, having a professional format, and if it's written, or also if you're presenting yourself in a professional way by how you're dressed. Pathos is related to the words pathetic, sympathy, and empathy. Those who wish to persuade you will play with your emotions. They may persuade you with fear, love, patriotism, guilt, or hate. A majority of arguments in the popular press are heavily dependent upon appealing to our emotions. We as a society should not react to emotional arguments without fully considering all the facts. Although the use of pathos can be manipulative, it is the cornerstone of moving people to action, and it will continue to be used again and again. Appeals to pathos touch a nerve and compel people not only to listen, but also to take the next step and act in the world. Examples of this are shown below. Both words and pictures can achieve this appeal. In this picture, Haitian children are collecting water. Children and adults spend all day digging for water because most of Haiti does not have access to water. This would certainly pull on the heartstrings of an audience. It can also include emotionally loaded language, vivid descriptions, emotional examples, anecdotes or testimonies or narratives about emotional experiences or events, figurative language, or emotional tones. All of these pictures are examples of emotional appeals. You can see the dog on the left. Down here, we can see the penguins, and then we can see the poor child in the dirt. All of these pull on the heartstrings of the audience and are emotional appeals. To summarize, ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos meaning ethical or moral character argument. Does it have credibility? Pathos is an emotional argument. Does it fill the heart with empathy? And logos, a logical argument. Does it logically make sense?